welcome to my channel. My name's Tamara and it's nice of you to join me. In today's video I'd like to show you another way to use the new Tonic Keepsake book dies. This is their new release of their memory books and this is the collection number 2. If you're like me and you like to add lots of embellishments onto your albums and find that the space between the hinges are just too small, then watch on. So what you'll need the Keepsake book spine die, which is this one here. In this form you can make a 3-paged album. If you then cut this out twice, you can make a 6-paged album just by adhering them together. Now I want to make an album that has got a bigger gap between each page. So what we'll need is we will need to die cut 5 of the spines, which I have here. Once you have your 5 spines cut out, what then you'll need is you will need a trimmer and you will need to cut all of them in half. So on your spine you have 10 columns, and then you'll just need to cut them in half down one of the embossed lines so that you've got 5 columns one side, 5 columns the other side. Once you've then cut them all out, so I'll just show you one to show you. So you'll just then cut down one of the embossed lines like so, so that it's at equal distance either side. Once that's done, we need to then reposition them all back together. Now this is what we've just cut in half. Now what we're going to do is we're going to twist one side 180 degrees. So we turn it round like so. And then what we would need to do is this line here, this is half of a hinge. That's going to become our glue tab. So that is where we'll need to put our super strong double-sided tape. Now I'm using, for this part of this tutorial, I'm going to use a 1/4 inch tape. It just fits perfectly onto the tab. It's just the right size. Okay, this is so sticky, even the side of the tape is very tacky. Okay, so we're going to stick our tape along the edge like so, burnish it down so that it's good and truly stuck. There we are, good and truly stuck. Okay, lift it off and then stick our part to it. There we go, burnish that down well. Now we're going to do that for all, let me just count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do that for 6 of the sides. So you're going to stick them 6 together. That will then leave you 2 halves spare, but we're going to use those in a moment, so just put them to the one side. Now this one that I've done has got my red line tape on. So once you've stuck 6 down, so as you can see I've got 6 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've stuck 6 of them down and then I have 2 spare. Okay, so we cut out 5 of the spines, and I then I've used 4 of them and just got 1 spare, as you can see. Okay, once we've stuck them back together, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the sides stuck together, and we should have then one spine left, so that would be one whole spine. Now what we're going to do is we're not going to use half of the spine, we're only going to use one half of it. Now the reason why I've only stuck the 6 down and left one half free is because I need the same distance as I have here on the ends. So this is how we're going to do it. So we'll just put that to the side for one moment. Now what we need to do is, let me come down a little bit, you might be able to see. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to trim one thin and one thick column. We're going to trim those two together. So I want these two here. Okay, so let's go back down, hopefully you can see. Right, so I'm just going to line up with that embossed line and then trim it off. So you should be left with that on one side. Put that to the side. Now the bit that you've just trimmed off, we only need 2. So what we need to do again is leave a thick and a thin column. This column here is what we're going to trim. So again, put it down, line it up with the embossed line mark. That's good. So again, so we're left with 4 columns that are identical. I'm just going to pan out again. Right, then what we're going to do is we're going to use the thin side, the thin column, as our glue line. So that's where we're going to adhere our tape to. There we go. One. Oh. If you'd have seen how many tapes I've had of this, you would be amazed. I've got spine die cuts everywhere. Oh. So hopefully this take will be perfect. Okay, so that's what we need to do. So we're going to adhere those together. Now what I'm going to do is, no, let me adhere them together and then I'll explain about the tape that I've added. So we're going to put one of the ones that I've cut out on one side and then one on the other. So that's one. Okay, burnish it down really well, and then I'm just going to turn it round and stick the other one on, like so. Okay, that's looking perfect. So now you can see I've got equal distance between my pages. Now what you need to do is, I've already added all my red line tape, all my double-sided tape. Now on the side that you're going to fold, so the right side, so this here is the right side, and then if I turn it over, this is the back. Okay, so on the front, the 2 smaller columns, you will need to put 2 lines of your red line tape on each of the smaller lines. Now they are going to be your page hinges. Then on the back you need to put red line tape or your double-sided tape. I would suggest using double-sided tape because it adheres quicker and than what glue does. So you'd need to put that all along on each of the columns because this is going to be your back. So you'll need something for it to stick to. Now, I would suggest doing this first because if you leave it until you've scored them, it makes it even more difficult to get your tape onto. Now you will realise that once you start to fold. So to fold, we need to turn it over and find the first score line. So this is the score line for your page. Okay, so it's the score line in between the two smaller columns. If I turn it over, you can see I've actually scored in between the two red line tapes. Not scored, sorry. Well, yes, I have scored. I've folded the embossed line. Okay, you can see that. Right. Then what we're going to do is we're going to fold the next score line towards you. Now, there we go. There we go. So, score that. Okay, I see what I've not done. I hadn't taken off this red line tape. So, let me just pull that off now. I wondered why it wasn't sticking. There we go, that should now stick perfectly. Fantastic. There we go. Okay, burnish that down well. So this is the start of our hinge system. So we've done 2 folds at the moment. So we've done 1 valley fold and 1 mountain fold. This next one is going to be a valley fold. So we just need to push it down so that you kind of get a mountain. Burnish that well so that it makes the score crisp and clean. Now, if I turn it that way, you'll be able to see. Can you see that there is like a mountain? This is where your pages are going to adhere to once you've finished your spine. Okay, now you need to do that all the way along, but to make it easier, if you turn it round, now you can see in between the fold that we've just done, we've put our red line tape. Now if we take that off, that then is going to secure the hinge. So take that off, and then we're going to just press them together like so. Okay, and then that then makes your hinge. Right, I'm going to do them for all of the hinges now, and then hopefully when we come back we should have our hidden hinge system spine. So this here now is your hinge system. So as you can see, you've created a bigger gap between the pages. I'll show you one that what you would make if you just wanted to make a smaller sized album, if you don't put a lot of embellishments into your albums. I just like to add a lot of flaps into my albums is what I like, so I find that I need that little bit more of a depth. This is only one of the spines that I've used. You would double this if you were going to do a 6-page one, but you can see the difference in the size. Okay, so that would be a 3-paged album, whereas if you had a 6-inch one, it would probably be up to about here. So you'd have that sort of much, it'd be that big. So you can see you've created quite a substantial album with that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you have a go and make it. It would be lovely to see if you do. I'm going to make another video now of how I then make the book up, and then hopefully I'll finish it with all my embellishments and things like that. As always, if you've liked this video, please leave a like and a subscribe. It's lovely when I get new subscribers. I'm only a newish channel, so I haven't got many, so all subscribers are greatly received. I'm also on Facebook, Pinterest and Blogspot. And so if you are on any of those social media platforms, then please stop along and say hi. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!